Greetings, everybody. Welcome to the Maverick Experience. You're about to experience, or you are experiencing, the reality of your soul. And what that means is it's getting real good out here for you, or at least you're starting to understand why it's about to get really good for you. So, earlier I received a text message from a beautiful soul, and it's so good I want to share it with you because, this kind of information is good for all of us to know. And it was something I didn't know, and I know she won't mind me sharing. But tonight, and that's why I want to get this message out to you before midnight on the East Coast. If you're seeing this at another time, still, you know what, just believe, because time is fluid. We're just saying, whatever. So, because if you're hearing the message, just know that you're in time, okay? Because why would you not hear the message, which is what I'm talking about. When we talk about reality of your soul, you experiencing the reality of your soul, right? Okay, so tonight, set your intentions because it's May 21st, and actually a month before the winter. You see what I'm saying? With the clock chiming, and the energy is so powerful. It gets hard to communicate sometimes. So the Pleiades is the star system, and Alcyone is the brightest star of the Pleiades star system. Tonight, the seven sisters of the Pleiades will be at their most superlative, or, you can say their best foot forward. So light a candle and converse with the seven sisters and send up your beautiful wishes from an open heart filled and infused with love. Isn't that beautiful? So the seven sisters, which is another constellation, I believe. So these are all syncs. And do a little research and see what comes to you. And then, you can thank your guides because this is beautiful energy. You are consistently experiencing your soul because you are hearing better. You are seeing better. You are allowing love and forgiveness to flow freely. This is so beautiful for you. It's like the joining of your mind and your spirit. It's the joining of your mind and your heart. It's the joining of your actions and your words and your thoughts. It's the union of your masculine and feminine energies. It is the balance of duality and polarity. It is your dreams coming true and you being patient, not for others, but you have that too, but patient with yourself first so that you can enjoy the lessons. This is a beautiful, beautiful energy that I am sensing because in your now, your present moment, if you are not feeling this energy once I explain it, what I'm seeing or feeling, then just know that the fact that you found this message, you're right on the verge of it, okay? So the frequency of compassion is here. Let me give you some colors that I'm seeing. Green and blue and turquoise, gold and yellow, golden orbs and the color yellow. Like I'm hearing mustard. So mustard might be a condiment that you like. Condo is also something I'm hearing as well. And before I got on here to do this video, I grabbed a handful of blueberries. So the blue color, the color purple, and blueberries and Blueberry Hill, and Fats Domino, or playing dominoes, or something about that, is more, syncs for you. So in your present moment, you are stepping into the frequency of compassion, and this is supporting your ability to stand by other people without judgment, being able to listen to other people's stories and not make it about you. You're just like, an observer. You are able to be the divine mediator between heaven and earth because you can stand by others without judgment. You just don't have it to give. You don't have any energy to give to that judgment and fear and control and expectations and, limitations. You just don't have the energy because you're forgiving everything, everyone, and you're doing it at a consistent pace because you don't want anything cluttering your heart. If where you are now, location-wise, literally, if it's raining while you're listening to this video, please use that as a confirmation to amplify the messages here, because the waters of the earth are cleansing and renewing your environment. They're cleansing and renewing souls. Okay? So you are letting love and forgiveness just flow freely. You made a decision to follow your heart, which says, let it all be, let it go. Just don't even worry about it anymore. And because of this, there is such a ocean, I'm hearing ocean waves, and such a movement or waves of blessings is what I'm hearing, because again, you're not judging. You're standing as a divine mediator between the spirit and the natural, and unconditional love is flowing through you. Unconditional love is flowing straight from God, straight from heaven, straight from the divine, straight from Creator, through your life, through your heart. And it comes out into the world from your connection to the divine. But this is such beautiful energy, and this is the energy of compassion. The number 15, especially if it relates to a teenage son, is significant here, and doubly significant if you checking off all the boxes. Okay, triply significant. Spirit is saying you're rising from the ashes. So in order to rise from the ashes, I know that something in your life crashed and burned. Somebody might say several things crashed and burned in their lives, but with the Phoenix Rising message, that means you can do it. If you did it before, you can do it again. So I'm talking to a collective that is very resilient. I'm talking to a collective that is has become very responsible for themselves. I believe you've shifted that energy from being responsible for others to being responsible for yourself. And perhaps it's because you're closing cycles and changing seasons even. You're not in that space. You're not in that place anymore. But the Phoenix Rising message is about you being able to build it again and again and again. It doesn't matter. I'm seeing the Three Little Pigs, or the story, the Three Little Pigs, about I huff and I puff and I blow your house down. I feel like you have had to stand and defend, or stand up and recognize, be recognized, stand up and be courageous and be bold. Okay, that's what I feel, that who I'm talking to. So anyway, and so we don't get too far down that path again. So that's enough examples with that. Number 32 is here with the Phoenix Rising card. So we have a 5 with the 32, because 3 plus 2 is 5. But with the compassion card, we had number 15, which is a 6. 1 plus 5 is 6. Now, that means we have an 11 out here. 5 and a 6 is 11. And I know it feels like a math course. Some of y'all may be taking a math course, but I know it feels like we doing a lot of arithmetic out here, but the universe likes to speak in numbers. So that's another way you have been consistently tapping in to experience the reality of your soul. You have been not only looking for the numbers, or not, actively looking. You're just showing up to life and the numbers present themselves. So that's a better way to say it. You have been acknowledging the numbers that are presenting themselves to you, right? And because of that, the universe is able to communicate to you, because you're researching, you're looking these numbers up, you're trying to see what's going on, what's being said, and because of that, again, follow your intuition. Because of that, know that you are in this lifetime, you are embodying the beautiful goddess energy of Enheduanna. That's how I say it, Enheduanna, but I'm going to spell it for you. Enheduanna. So we call her Anna for short. But anyway, I'm kidding. But anyway, she is a high priestess. She is the high priestess, okay? She is one with her soul, and her soul is a legacy of love. So Enheduanna is believed to be, when she was alive, the embodiment of the high priestess, Inanna, Inanna. Now, what's interesting is Sumeria and Mesopotamia are coming through with the energy. The energies. See that? You see that? Ooh, that tongue just want to fly. Maybe we should just let it flow. Give me a second. Oh, bene andigo no sole ma handi olum kuma senedia dia un konsai. Le ele emukura andi ele senato kuma isha. Pala okun semana di alu aye. Saleondo oma kata ale jono konamase. Lele okoto, lele ekato omolo oshani. Kale asolo como osendia lo como ose make asholo o mesasa iko. Mele ele aloma asako amoshokulu umasi eyanako. Le ele mokoke. Part of telling the truth of who you are is happening because you were able to allow love and forgiveness to flow freely. So kudos on releasing everything that doesn't serve you. Go see o see yalabu ushi baga and see. Balo oku sama se na aye. Oso ma ishala ase ako ashala ese me ega. Ase mokolo onanimia se. Ase oko sananina. So these two goddesses, their energies are all about integrating the divine and the natural, having nothing to hide, seeing, accepting all that you are. And Inanna represents the power that comes back to us when we accept and integrate, in particular, our shadow. She has a very interesting story about going into the depths of the underworld and having to face her twin sister, Ereshkigal. I believe that's how you say her name. It's spelled Ereshkigal, but very interesting story between Inanna and her sister. But in a nutshell, she left, in order to get her sister, she had to pass through 7 gates, and she had to leave an article of clothing at every gate. So by the time she reached her sister, she was naked, so which represents or is symbolic of vulnerability. So many of you are able to experience your soul, the reality of your soul, because you know how to be vulnerable. You have stepped into your vulnerability and have discovered that it is your superpower, your openness and your love. But you have to walk a very challenging road to get to that place, passing through the 7 gates of a lot of stuff, because you if there's an ego identity, there's an ego identity at every gate. There's a part that's that representative of the clothing that you take off. It reminds me of Adam and Eve in the garden when they discovered that they were naked. The first thing they did was cover themselves up. They saw themselves for what they were, so to speak, which is naked. So they thought something was wrong with it. Like, hey, why is that? What's that? It's like their innocence was stripped. But my point is, I don't even know what I was talking about that. But Adam and Eve being in the garden, the first thing they did was they grabbed some fig leaves to cover themselves. So part of your superpower, and in doing that, they lost a little of their power because now they had thoughts that there was something that needed to be covered. You see what I'm saying? There was something that needed to be covered. Okay? So with that, Inanna represents the parts of us that we lose. And so when she ascended back up to, out of the underworld, she came back with all of her sister's power. She integrated her darkness. She faced the underworld, which is symbolic of facing your darkest, deepest fears, or going to hell. And that's the equivalent of, or the fulfillment of the story with Jesus dying and then going to hell for 3 days and taking the keys, which are, the keys are representative of wisdom, taking the know-how, taking the wherewithal, taking the wisdom of how to defeat hellish things or challenging things, right? In our lives until we don't see them as hell or challenging things anymore, because the highest consciousness is, or a higher consciousness is seeing the oneness. It's the oneness of all, where there's no separation. There's no separation. But right now, we are in a matrix that's built by or for polarity. Now, so when we can face the things that we think are dark and negative about us, really, really embrace them and see them for what they are, which is a beautiful broken place in us that actually needs more of our love and our compassion, which are lessons that we learned. And what we've gained from that is reminding ourselves at all times to let that love and forgiveness to flow freely, not the grudges and resentment and building more walls. Your superpower or your wisdom key is for you to let the waters just flow. Some of you probably cry naturally. You weep all the time, or you love water, even though you love water. Or I say even though I was seeing a heart-shaped waterbed, which is such a random vision, but it just kind of popped up. But the heart-shaped waterbed speaks to me about honeymoon suites. I don't know what sync you got with it, but oh my gosh. But anyway, this message is really about you finding those ways and continuing with them that allow you to experience the reality of your soul. And so, again, your love, your compassion, your love, which is your superpower. Don't forget that you have the energies of two goddesses, two very powerful. One is it's like mother and daughter, really, or protege or mentor or mentee, but it's still the same energy, which is that wildly unapologetic, I am one with my soul, and my soul is about love, and I'm about freedom and equality, and I'm about, my power and, the many facets of me, and embracing all that I am, and having no fear, and having nothing to hide, and being open-faced and unashamed, and loving every part of myself, because you have done this work of loving every part of yourself, accepting every part of yourself. It has been a game changer in the way you experience life, because now you have compassion for people, places, things you did not have compassion for before this happened. So again, allow that water to flow freely, because this is what's helping you experience the reality of your soul consistently. So I believe that is all of the message. This is mostly serving as confirmation and just affirmation for you to keep going, and just know that you don't need to worry about anything, because Spirit considers you the phoenix rising. And if you did it before, you'll do it again. And if you did it before, you'll do it again and again and again and again and again and again, in a good way. Like, you will continue to build. If you're building now, you're going to continue to build. If you had something built and it crashed and burned, or it got burned down, or something happened, the rug was pulled out from in front of you, but something happened, just know that you have the know-how, the wherewithal, the prowess, the support to do it again and again and again. So know this about yourself. Let that sink in, and then add that to the goddess energy that you possess, which is talking about your soul being that legacy of love, and you being one with everything about your soul. There is no separation. You are literally the queen of heaven and earth. Yeah. I love it. So also, closing messages, soak in a bath. If you've been putting it off, try not to put it off any longer, because there's some answers that want to come to you from your intuition if you just soak in a nice bath, darling. And also that beautiful high priestess energy welcomes that. And then we talked about the water, cleansing and renewing your soul. So a nice spiritual bath with a little Florida water, perhaps, or some salt, some Epsom salt or sea salt, and just light a nice candle and some soothing music, and just bask in the feeling of being held by the water, so you can cleanse and renew your soul. And it's like you're mounting up or loading up or refreshing yourself so you can go back out and continue to be that phoenix that you are. There are many eyes on you in a good way, is what I'm hearing. So I'm excited about these next few weeks. Okay? Lots of healing around your heart chakra, and you're going to have a lot of opportunity to practice what you preach. There's that Barry White song again, telling me this and telling me that. Second time I've channeled that song. But yeah, you're going to get a chance to practice what you preach. So lots of heart chakra activations over the next few weeks in order for you to continue to experience the reality of your soul. So I'll leave it right there. You guys, I'm excited about over the next few weeks signing you up, getting you registered for this wonderful light language activation workshop. I do that when I'm drawn to it, when I'm guided to it, and this is one of those times. It's going to be on Father's Day, okay, on purpose for Daddy's Girls. It's the Daddy's Girl edition of, my light language class. So whether you speak in light language or tongues, whatever you call it, or you want to learn how to do it, or get activated, not learn how, but you just need to be exposed in the environment. It's very easy, darling. Because that's one of the things that I do, one of my giftings. That's why I say it's easy. All right, but it won't be challenging. If you come open, you're going to get your utterance, because you wouldn't even be hearing this message if it weren't. So anyway, it's for Daddy's Girls, and there's the voice of a father that kind of changes everything. And so I'm going to be using my mediumship abilities to channel messages from your dad, whether your dad's on the other side or even still alive. We're going to be channeling messages together. So I'll be in it. You'll be in it. We'll also be using and activating your light language so that you can also channel in your messages, as well as this is another opportunity or another way for you to experience the reality of your soul by just allowing your meditation time and your utterance. I like to call your utterance or your sounds, because sometimes it's not just language. Sometimes there are sounds that your body makes, because it's all about connecting to your body. But this will enhance what you do, because you can just kind of let your languages or the languages and sounds flow and just take you to another, take me to another place, take you to another place. So with that, I'm inviting you, Father's Day. There's like nothing on the website yet. So just go to my website, thedivinemaverick.com, join the mailing list, and you will be up on all the information, because I communicate through my mailing list when I do have something afoot. But over the next few days, I'll be putting that out for you. But I would love for you to join me, and we just take what you already have to another level, take it up a notch. And also, maybe you can even tap into your mediumship abilities as well. I'm open for all kinds of activations, darling. All kinds on that day. So anyhow, I hope this message helped you in some way, and especially encouraged you and gave you a little clarity about some things that you maybe needed clarity for. So until we meet again, guys, thank you for being here. This has been your Maverick experience. Until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other. Later.